jossa soittaa muun muassa 2 entistä Yardbirds-yhtyeen jäsentä, kitaristi Keith Rowe ja rumpali Jim McCarthy. Tämä yhtye soittaa hiukan tällaista progressiivista poppia. Osa heistä säestää myöhemmin John Mayalia. Nyt hyvät naiset ja herrat, Renaissance!
Thank you. Thank you very much. The stuff that we play is completely original and might sound a little different because we don't do songs as such, we do movements. We're going to do a thing now which we call Bullet. when you fall. It really don't hurt when you fall. It really don't hurt when you fall. Plastic guns to play. Give on little things to while away the hours. While away the hours. While away the hours until they die. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Please do not forget the name Renaissance, because we have only been together for 2 weeks, and it's all very new for us. It's our 4th job playing to an audience, and we think you are a beautiful audience. Thank you very much.
Developing on a more kind of progressive thing, you know, like underground if you like, psychedelic if you want, you know. So now our present act is, you know, a pretty far out type of thing, but it's sort of, it is very underground, and here we've had to adapt, you know, because the promoter said it's a blues concert, so we tried to sort of dig back and sort of do something a bit heavy, you know. Because the kids wouldn't understand, you know, because we use a lot of sort of stereo electronic sounds with the group, you know, and a lot of sort of, but it needs a whole concert to set up, you know. And we were sort of rushed here at the last minute to sort of fill in, because John Mayall's band wasn't here, you see. So we happened to be around, and the thing is, it's a brand new group, and it's only been together for about 2 weeks. This is our 4th job, you know. Well, you know, the English blues is a copy of the American blues, has to be, you know. Initially, the records, you know, B.B. King, Freddie King, you know, all these sort of the blues people. Initially, those records came to England, and then people sort of began sitting down and working it out and listening to the same sort of runs and things, you know. And the whole thing sort of was like a big copy, but then it got its own strength after a while, you know. And it became as good as B.B. King. I mean, Clapton is as good as B.B. King, you know, if not overtaken B.B. King. But the thing is, the whole idea of blues came from those Chicago Negroes.
Oh, how do you make piano, lead guitar, bass guitar, 3 singers and a drummer? Sure, yeah, we have Keith Ralph, who plays lead guitar, sings and plays harmonica. Me, John Hawken, I play piano. Louis Sonamo plays bass. Jane Ralph sings, and Jim McCarty plays drums.